Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Happy New Year again. We're starting this year off fresh to this year. We're doing something a little different. I'm going to be greeting you guys, giving you little short words throughout the week. Sometimes once a week, sometimes twice, sometimes all throughout the week. Um, but again, 2025, big year here. A lot of things are happening this year, and I just want to try to give people little thoughts and little words for the day to get moving forward. Um, I'm going to read a quick passage first from the Bible because that's what we use as our principal support system. And this is taken from the book of Matthew, chapter 7. I'm going to read verse 16 through 20 or 21. Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. And it reads, I'm reading it from the NIV so that it'll make sense to us in our language today. So, starting. It reads as such. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. Verse 18, a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Verse 19, every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Verse 20, thus by their fruit you will recognize them. We'll stop there. I chose that verse because what I want to talk about here in 2025, what we're going to start seeing a lot of is we're going to get a lot of conflict. I spoke my message for the year, this introduction, was dealing with chaos and confusion. And that's what we're stemmed around, a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion. What does that mean? Well, we got a lot of people today and we got a lot of entities that are giving us information. All information is not good information. So all the information we're getting is not good. And it's creating chaos and it creates confusion. But you can always tell the individual by their fruit. Look at the fruit that they bear. And this illustration that was used in the Bible here that Jesus used is a tree. Every tree bears something. If it doesn't, it's dead. If you see a tree with no leaves, no fruit, no nuts, no cherries, lemons, orange, there's nothing on it, and no leaves, just all wood, what would you call that tree? A dead tree. Absolutely. You would say that tree is dead. And all dead trees sitting in the forest keepers go out and they cut them down, get rid of them. If you plant trees in your yard or plants or vegetables, fruit, whatever, if you got a tree or something that is not producing, a good farmer will cut that tree down and even get rid of the roots because it's occupying space and it has the ability to damage the other trees that are around that are existing and producing good fruit. So you soon will get rid of that bad one, lest it will spoil or infect the good ones. In the same way, we as people operate the same way. Some of us today are experiencing troubles. We have people around us that are bad trees. And we should know that because they're producing bad fruit. What do I mean by that? Here's an example. You all probably experienced this. If not, then you're a blessed individual. But most people have someone or know someone that is around them that's just always going through bad luck. And it's one thing to have them experience bad luck, but whenever they come around you, the bad luck filters over to you as well. Have you experienced that? You know that? We all got a person like that. We'll call them bad luck schleprock, or oh, here comes this negative person, or he's putting out bad vibes or bad energy. We all have different things and different ways of explaining it. But what it boils down to is, you know, this individual, no matter what you say, they got something negative to say. If you say something good, they got something bad to say. If you tell them, well, this is going to be a good year because I'm going to get a whole lot of money this year, they'll say something counter that, like, yeah, in your dreams, yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, why would you say that? Well, I mean, you're just not going to get it. I'm just being real. Yeah, that's what they'll call it. You'll notice that those people also never seem to get the good thing to happen to them. Even when they try, they make a step out and try to do something good. And before it's all said and done, it winds up bad. It winds up falling apart. And if that person is in your circle around you, it begins to rub off on you. You ever had a person that's just bad luck? I knew a guy once. He fall in that category. He's just straight bad luck. He always got something negative or countering anything you say. You say right, he says wrong. One day I put him in my car to drop him off somewhere. Gave him a ride somewhere. He gets in my car. We starts riding. Before we even get where we going, good, the car breaks down. The car was running perfectly fine. It was a good car. It had no problems. It was well maintenance, well maintained. It was a good running vehicle. But out of nowhere, it just stopped with no explanation. Took it to the shop. They couldn't figure it out. They didn't know what was wrong. Finally, I got it fixed, and it was like, wow, where did that come from? Months later, I let him in the car again. He gets in there and he tears something off of a door handle or something. And I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, what is wrong with this? Then I just begin to put it together. You come over your house, things go crazy and haywire there. Uh, you expecting an advancement. Oh, I got a bonus on my paycheck coming. Yeah, it should be on the next check. This individual starts hanging around you, and all of a sudden you get the bonus, and it's not what you expected. You get a letter instead saying, well, we had some issues this month and we wasn't able to make the payment we thought we'd pay. So the bonuses were cut down by 75%. You can all say coincidence. We can say things of that nature. I don't believe in coincidence simply because I believe everything on earth was created and made. So everything happens and is made with a purpose and an intent. And it was created before we were created. So we're just going through the motions, living it out. So it's not a coincidence. But that person that you see and know that is that way, that person is a bad tree. And you know that person again by their fruit. So in 2025, what I'm suggesting to you guys for starters is this is a time for us to stop right here in the beginning of the year, in the first month, and just do an assessment of yourself. Look at your life, not over the whole life, but just over 2024. You don't need to deal with beyond that because all that stuff is gone already. You don't live in the past. I can't do anything about what happened in 23, 22, 2022, 2021, 1999, 1987, 1954. I can't change those things. They're done. But I can deal with what's happening in 2025. And some of the things that took place in 2024 will bear a direct result on or have a direct impact on what's happening in 2025. So do an assessment of your life. Sit back one day when you got time, in quiet time. Get some quiet time. Where there are no interruptions, no interference. Turn your cell phone off. Turn the computer off so that nothing's interrupting you. Turn the television off. Take a pen and a sheet of paper, just like this, like I did, and start writing down from January 2024 to December 2024 events of your life on a monthly basis. And you can't remember every single thing, so there's a way of simplifying that. Make it simple. Take it month by month. Start with December. What happened in my life in December? What catastrophic events took place? What were the positives? Did I win the lottery? Did I get a raise on my job? Did my health turn around and overcome a sickness? What happened in 2020 in December 2024? Then you look at the offsetting. What negative took place? When you look at that, then you look at the circumstances around it. Who was that surrounding? Then you move to February and do the same thing. You go all the way through month for month. And you just write down events. When you complete it, then you start noticing reoccurring incidences. You'll start noticing names and people that reoccur. You'll see people's names who always seem to have been there with you when something positive happened. And then you'll see people's names who always seem to showed up when a negative thing took place. And that's what you got to look at. Whenever something bad happened to me, this person always seemed to have been around. Or, whenever something went wrong, this person always happened to have been around. He called me on the phone earlier that day. She sent me a text earlier that day. I haven't heard from her in a month. She sent me a text that day. And all of a sudden, this went haywire. You start looking at those things and putting them together, then you will identify the tree is bearing bad fruit. Remember what the scripture said. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit. It is impossible. It is impossible. A bad tree cannot bear good fruit. It is impossible. It is impossible. So again, take an assessment of your life here in 2025. Look at the trees that are surrounding you in this garden of life that we're in. Look around you and see the trees. It's ironic. The Bible refers to us as trees. You're a tree. So look at the trees that are surrounding you in your garden. And that will dictate or give you a starting point on trying to correct some of the things in the future that is coming. Because we're going to have to move through this year meticulously and with acute certainty. Because we're going to have to really be in tune with and on target with what we're doing in this life. Because things are going to be taking place that we're just not going to be able to control. And we're going to see a new day this year. Life is going to really affect us. And that's my word with you for today. Check your surroundings. Look at yourself first. Check yourself first. Then check your surroundings. Trees that are growing around you. Do an assessment of your life last year. Then make the difference for this year. Part of that difference is going to mean pruning the garden, moving some trees out of your life that do not belong there. Thank you. Pastor Terry Ray here. Peace and blessings.